Well, Issun wants to rub up against my phone, as usual. He's a very loving kitty cat. Right, Issun? Oh, you are so cute. Oop. Don't want to see you get hurt, kitty cat, so I'm going to stop the record. Good kitten internet. Let's go for a walk. Some of you may be wondering why I'm vlogging today. I mean, other than the fact that the weather's actually fairly nice and has been very strange here lately. For reference, it's currently 10 degrees outside. I'm wearing yet another one of my flannel hoodies. I have 3 of them now. Some of you know exactly why I'm vlogging today. It's because of today's date. It is the 18th of April, 2023. Exactly 10 years after my father's death. And 3 days after my grandfather's death. I haven't exactly had the nicest of brains lately, to put it mildly. So where to start? So editor me will be putting up a link / a little short clip from my video where I revealed that my father had passed away.
Yesterday, a little bit afternoon, I received word that my grandmother had gone into my father's apartment and found him lying on the floor dead.
Technically that video was from the 19th because at the time I recorded the 18th video, my father was still alive because I recorded that first thing in the morning, I think. I'd actually have to look at the video recording date and time, and I don't know if I still have that original or if the one that I have was a rip-off of YouTube. I can't remember now. But, something's burning, probably. Doesn't quite smell like barbecue, smells like wood burning. Anyway, so, yeah, my brain has not been a very good space, to put it mildly. It's weird. I still see my father in my dreams. On a regular basis, actually. Go so far as to say I see my father in my dreams more often than my mother, who died 3.5 years ago. Yeah, this has been really rough. I'm gonna set this down for a little bit and sit and talk, I think. Just going to a dread gazebo. I don't know if I've actually shown the outside of the gazebo before. It sits alone on a grassy knoll. It's too late. Need to shorten. There we go. Oh, actually all the way down. So, yeah. So my grandfather hasn't been in the greatest of health for a while now. In fact, when I received the text message plus phone call from my uncle 10 years ago, I had actually thought it was a message to tell me that my grandfather had passed, because my grandfather was not doing so well, and my father had mentioned, hey, look, this might be the last time that you see him, make sure it's good. Turns out it was the last time I saw my father, but strangely enough, the same person is the person who texted me letting me know that my grandfather had died. He had been in the hospital for the past few weeks. There was an issue, I think it was pneumonia, he ended up catching and going to the emergency room and was recovering in the emergency room, then caught something else, potentially food lodged in lungs or something like that, and everything went downhill really fast from there. He ended up in hospice. 6 days ago is when they decided to put him into hospice. And again, he passed away 3 days ago. So, pretty quick. Hopefully he wasn't in too much pain. My grandmother is not doing so great. I can tell that she's trying to put on a front for me. In her mind, her young baby grandboy. I mean, I'm nearly 40, but you know how parents and grandparents are. You're always a kid. But that wasn't the thing that got to me. Again, I've been knowing that my grandfather's been very sick for a while now, and the last time I visited, I had a reasonable assumption that that might have been the last time that I was going to see him. Heck, it might be the last time I visit Florida. No, the thing that got me is the fact that in the past decade, I have lost almost my entire family. And I should probably explain a little bit by family in this case. I am referring to people who are biologically related to me and were a part of my childhood at some point. Like, more than just oh, this is a person I wave hi to. I might receive a Christmas present on my 9th birthday or something like that. I'm talking about actually involved. And my grandmother's the only one left. I have one grandparent left living. I mean, again, my grandfather was 93. It's not like this was unexpected, even in good health. But I have one grandparent left alive, 0 parents, 0 siblings, and even the uncle that was most responsible for me has also died. He died at the start of 2019. That combined with stresses of everything, move-related stress, work-related stress, the fact that I'm leaving all of my friends behind. Again, I've done that so many times in my life. I can't stand doing it, yet I keep doing it. I mean, this was technically my choice. It's logically the best choice, but anyway, enough sitting. Let's go walking again. So, back to shaky cam. Luckily, the anti-vibration features of my phone aren't too bad. And yes, I'm using my phone for this. Anyway, yeah, that hit me really hard. I ended up with a large panic attack last week. And mind you, this was before my grandfather had died, but after he was going into hospice. I think the best way to describe the past week has been one very long anxiety attack that ended Monday. I had a brief reprieve on Saturday. I decided that because I was feeling so bad, I was going to take a day for just myself. There was no work that was going to be done. I wasn't going to be working on packing. I wasn't going to be working on organizing. I wasn't going to be doing anything work-related. I had scheduled a massage for that day. I had decided that I wasn't going to cook, so I had gone out to grab lunch, all of these things. It is really bright, and I cannot see the screen very well, hence why I'm squinting so much. Basically walking directly into the sun at the moment. Try everything that I could to get my brain to shut the hell up, and it helped until I got the message that my grandfather had passed, which was, I got that late afternoon, early evening. So yeah. My brain's been another train wreck, but today I've actually felt like I started recovering. The anxiety attack is over. Probably helping is the fact that I have updates on my moving progress. So, first off, we have an apartment again. Once more, Not a contract signed yet. Getting a little leery about Norwegians and not getting the contract ready until I'm supposed to move. I'm going to poke the landlord tomorrow to ask when I'm going to get a contract, but everything's been agreed to at this point. It's more expensive than I would like. Significantly more expensive, actually. I am spending 25,000 kroner a month on a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, which is more than large enough for me. It's not ridiculously oversized or anything like that, but it's also not too small. Location and the views. Oh my, the vlog that I'm going to record when I move in. Oh, I don't know if the internet's ready for how pretty that is. But 25,000 kroner a month is more than I had originally budgeted for housing. I had originally was aiming for 20,000. 20,000 kroner is a little under $2,000. So 25,000 kroner is a little under $2,500. So that's a significant increase in rent, but it's within the range that I can afford, so I'm not too concerned about that. Although, I still haven't seen what my first paycheck looks like, because Norway does weird things with salaries, and I need to see my final contract to find out if things are going to be okay. Because it gets weird. Like, if you take your yearly salary and divide by 12 in the US, that's your monthly salary. That's not the way it works in Norway. It's far more complicated. But I know that I have a comfortable buffer. Even if I got laid off, I would be perfectly fine for at least a year. So I'm not that concerned. So that's taken care of at this point. I have an address that I'll be living at. Creditors toured the apartment, so I have video of what it looks like, video of what it looks like before, which is very helpful for renting an apartment. I have finally bought the plane tickets, or some of them. Got a potential issue with one of my friends that was planning on coming with me and not be able to come after all due to some issues that are kind of out of their control. So I've bought everybody else's plane tickets for the time being, and I'll buy their plane tickets if they are able to come. Everybody else's plane tickets have been purchased though, including Issun and Issun's plane ticket. Well, technically it's more the fees associated with them coming along. So, fun fact, for those that have never flown with any animals before, and yes, I'm walking around in a circle before somebody asks, for those that have never flown with an animal before, usually you have to pay a fee in order to have the animal come with you. This is perfectly fine. I have no issues with that concept. Animals are more difficult to deal with than regular baggage. The part I didn't realize was that the fee is based off of the air carrier. One moment, somebody's approaching. Okay, the fee is based off of the air carrier. What I mean by that is, if you take a flight, and you're going internationally, this is where this primarily happens, and the airline itself changes during the flight. Namely, like for instance, for my flight, most of the flight is under Scandinavian Airlines, but Scandinavian Airlines doesn't operate domestically in the US. Domestically in the US, you have US airlines that operate, and it's usually what's referred to as a code share, where, yes, this airline is technically both United and Scandinavian Airlines, but the US part of it, obviously you're going to have a US airline operate inside of the US, and the Norwegian part of it, you'd obviously have a Norwegian airline operate. What this boils down to is that I have to pay 2 pet fees per cat, because I have to pay a fee per airline. Also couldn't do it online because, once more, 2 airlines. So I spent a good chunk of the morning contacting both airlines and getting all of that arranged. Luckily, the United Airlines, when I called them up, gave me an option of, we'll let you do this through text messaging if you want. And I was like, you know what, sure, because that'll mean that I can react to work things at the same time, because this was during my working day, and it worked out. I was able to do the entire thing through text messaging, plus a secure site that didn't work in Mozilla Firefox. It's been a long time since I've had a site not work in Firefox, and that got taken care of. Then I called Scandinavian Airlines. Got a nice person on the phone, British accent. Could have been British, could have been Norwegian, because a lot of Norwegians end up with a British accent. Or actually, to me, Norwegian English sounds like an Irish accent. I don't know why. But very nice person on the phone, very polite, and more importantly, very direct, telling me exactly what I need to know, exactly what I need to do, and that was the nicest conversation I have ever had with an airline. There was also no wait time. Like, I never heard hold music the entire time. It was go through the stupid phone menu, get out of the phone menu, ring, hello, this is so-and-so, how can I help you? So that was nice. So kidneys are all booked. I still have not heard back from my vet that I requested an appointment earlier, so that's another thing I have to do tomorrow, of calling my vet and going, seriously, I called you 3 days ago, what the heck? The vet appointment is for filling out the EU passport stuff, because my cats need a passport in order to be able to travel to the EU, or through the EU, because Norway's a part of the Schengen zone. So that means that they use the same, or in Norway's case, they have the option to, but they are using the same standards that the European Union's using, which Norway's not a part of the EU. So, long story short, if I get an EU passport, they're good for Norway. And then we fly to Oslo, have them go through customs, and everything should be good. All of my ducks are lining up. Even signed the contract for the movers today, so... Or the second contract? Second contract. Something like that. Anyway, mover stuff being taken care of. Everything is actually being taken care of now, which is helping relieve some of the anxieties going on in my brain about everything going horribly. I mean, don't get me wrong, this isn't going great. Hopefully you can still see me, given that there's a giant sun behind me, but at least I can see the camera now. Yeah, this is still not a great situation. I will still be doing a video or video series, at this rate it'll be a video series, on how to escape the US. And this is definitely going to be coming up. This has been a hideously expensive process, by the way. I had originally budgeted $20,000 US. I ended up increasing the budget to $25,000 US to accommodate for the professional help that I'm getting for this, namely professional organizer for the house, movers, all of that stuff. And I appear to be coming in under budget, but it's not by a whole bunch. So, oh, and part of that budget was also the documentation for getting permission to move to Norway and all of that stuff. So, it is more than just the actual move. Still, hideously expensive. What else? In happier news, Issun and Zone are generally behaving at this point. The two of them were out and about together for most of the day today. No issues. Zone was just sleeping on the bed next to me most of the time. Next to me in the office, that is. Yeah. Oh, right, the crazy weather that I mentioned early on. So it's currently about 10 degrees outside, bright and sunny. Light, fluffy clouds in the sky at most. More light wispy, I would actually say. And I have somebody else coming. 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago we had heavy snow. Hold on. So yeah, 2 days ago was heavy snow. 4 days ago, we were at about 28, 29 degrees. So converting to Fahrenheit, right now it's about 48 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 days ago it was snowing. 4 days ago we were in the lower to mid 80s. Wisconsin in spring, everyone. We get weird. Okay, I think that's probably enough recording. I'm gonna head back home and figure out something to eat. Have not had any vegetables today, so I definitely need something with vegetables. Oh, I do have a smack video recorded and I've started editing it, but last night I really did not feel like finishing editing. Editing is kind of not so great for me because I see my face the entire time, and I do have body dysmorphia disorder, so looking at myself is generally a stressful experience. Just like recording this video, I'm distracting myself by talking. But if you had asked me to take a walk with this camera in front of me and not say anything, I don't know if I'd last a minute. Maybe 2 at most. Anyway, I think that's probably about it. I'll talk to you later, Internet, and have a nice day, and hug your loved ones if you can. Bye, Internet.